What's going on, guys? So this is like my fifth time trying to make this video because there's just so much information, and I'm just gonna get right into it by saying the engine is done. It's at Mazworx. I just have to go pick it up. So next Tuesday, that's the plan. I'm off that day, and I'm gonna go straight to Mazworx, pick up the block, and I can finally bring it to Pinellas Motors, and it can be dropped in the car. Now, some other things have changed along the way. I talked to English Racing, who owns the fastest Evo 10 in the world, and they're making around 1,200 horsepower, and it's had already so many passes at the track. I don't even know what their numbers are currently, but I talked to them, and they guided me in another direction. So the Evo will be down for a little bit more, but we're talking maybe 2 to 3 months because I'm actually changing ECUs. I'm doing a Motec M150 ECU. It's finally come to that point because when you start talking 950 to 1,000 horsepower, the OEM computer is not going to be reliable anymore. It doesn't have the safety that this Motec M150 is going to bring. So when we were talking safety, reliability, dependability, it's the Motec M150 just comes with so many features that it's not even worth questioning really, because it's added insurance. If something happens to my engine or something like that, it's more of like I shouldn't really have to worry about, the engine. Of course I'm worried about it, but the thing is this Motec M150, you can put certain safeties on it so that, if the car sees some type of fuel pressure that's off or sees some boost that's like overboosting, there's some cuts so that the car will not overboost, will not cause, the car to lean out and blow a piston. And actually, English told me that 2 Evos here in Florida, I'm not going to mention names, but I think people will start putting the puzzle pieces together. They've been actually featured on TRC Racing, and they were making around 800 to 900 horsepower. I'm not going to mention names, but they were on an open source tune. And then, of course, 2 months later, after making that power, they melted pistons. So, I mean, is it really worth playing with fire in the end? Knowing that I just waited about a year to 2 months to get my car back, and I can have it for 2 months, but then it's going to be taken right back away from me because now I have to pull the engine. I have to send it off to Mazworx again. They have to, I don't even want to get into all that, but you get the idea. So they would have to do all that work all over again. I would have to pay so much more money. And then, I could have been smart in the beginning and said, well, I could have gotten that Motec M150. That's around $5,000 to $6,000. So basically, how I view it, I'm just buying another turbo kit. But the thing is, it is a big fraction of money, but it's better insurance for the car because if there is any fuel that's off, or if there's anything that is just that the car sees, coolant temperature is too high, there's not enough fuel, the boost is too high, the car will obviously put itself in limp mode, so that way I don't blow my stuff down the road. So anyway, I mean that's a big advantage. And there's also some other things that changed. I'm doing a 3-inch full intercooler piping for upper and lower. So that's another big step because more airflow. And then on top of that, I'm also doing a 4-inch exhaust from the test pipe all the way back. So yeah, I did learn about a couple more things, and in order to really reach that 950 to 1,000 horsepower, it's one thing saying that you are planning to make 950 to 1,000 horsepower. It's another thing doing it. So I'm more of a doer, not a sayer. I say I'm going to do things, but I want to live up to it, and that's how you gain respect. Especially in the car community. There's been a lot of. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. Oh, there's a my car's making this amount of power, and then all of a sudden I see a dyno video of it on YouTube, and it's not a Mustang dyno, it's a dyno jet, and it's true, apparently true, dyno jet numbers, and it's making way less. So like I said, I have nothing to hide, but I definitely, I've been honest since the beginning with everything. So like I said, if you guys want to always ask me a question or comment about something, there's nothing I can hide or that I've not talked about. So again, really shooting for that 950 to 1,000 horsepower range. Even if as long as I make over 900, I'd be happy, because this far in, I'm like, to really see what it takes to make the power. But apparently English Racing, when I told them my build setup, they said I definitely have a 1,000 horsepower car sitting there. They said it could easily make 1,000 wheel horsepower with my setup. So that was always reassuring. So stay tuned. I'm going to post and give a big shout out to Mazworx next Tuesday when I go to pick up the engine. So like I said, stay tuned. More videos are coming.